Yo YouTube everyone, welcome back to the channel. We finally did it. We hit Iridescent solo queue. That's right, it took a while, but we got there in the end, and I have to say it was the most difficult experience I've had in my gaming career, just kind of hitting that Iridescent solo queue. I tried it last year, I tried it the year before, and I just wasn't good enough. However, this year I think really upped our game awareness and we got through. So today, this is the game that I actually got into Iridescent from. It was actually off stream and I was sweating. I'm not gonna lie, the last like 4 or 5 wins I really locked in. Normally I do kind of live comms, but I really wanted to just focus on the game and get those wins because I was so close. I was kind of hard stop Crim 3. So yeah, we're going to be going through everything that I think basically helped me get there and how I would do if I could start again. So basically it's just advice to get to Iridescent. So let's start off and talk about the reality of the situation. So I'm obviously a content creator, gone full-time recently and putting a lot of time into the game and trying to improve and stuff like that. And you know, hitting Iridescent solo queue is not an easy thing to do, right? So the first thing is kind of understanding why you're trying to get this. If it's just for fun and stuff like that, then obviously it's fine, but for me, I don't think you need to do this solo queue. The first thing I would say is rank play itself is a lot more fun playing with people, right? It's a little bit harder solo queue. So if you guys are maybe playing by yourself and you want to find people, which I think a lot of people are in that boat, I would recommend, you know, joining the Discord server. The Discord is down below, and if you go to the roles section, you can actually put your rank in. Once you put your rank in, you can actually be added to a chat. So in my server, you added to a chat which has different roles. So you could be, if you're a gold player and you fill in the gold role, then you get added to a gold chat, right? So you can find people to play with. That's the first thing I would say. Okay, the next thing is, okay, you're playing solo, is what it is. Let's move on about what we can actually do. So the first thing I'm going to say, your role now has changed. Okay, your role when you used to play in a team is anchor or cutting lanes or objective. Whatever your role was is no longer your role. I'm going to show you how the roles work in solo queue. Okay, this is how it works. So every situation you have this, you want somebody on the hill. Okay, that's your first H. You want somebody cutting lanes. You want somebody holding spawns. Okay, these are your 3 roles. Then you have a 4th player. We're going to call him your flexible player. Okay, so we're going to watch some gameplay now. I'm going to show you. I'm going to pause it for a second and kind of show you what I mean. Okay, so let's go through and let's just see what's happening right now. Okay, so right now is a perfect example. If I said, okay, chat, I am somebody that plays hill only, and I am the hill player. Right now, my teammate is occupying the hill. It doesn't make sense for me to say, no, but I'm the hill player, I have to be on the hill. No, this is why I'm saying you have to be more flexible, okay? So what you actually want to do is make sure that you have one person at all times holding the hill, one person holding spawns, okay? And one person cutting lanes. You want to make sure you have all of those things occupied. So let's carry on playing the gameplay, and I'm going to show you how you can be adaptable, okay? If your teammates, for example, let me add one more, which we're going to call the flexible player. If your teammates say, like, let's say you're playing solo queue and you have a teammate that, like, especially in the lower lobbies, it happens quite a lot. You have more people playing hill. Let's say you have 2 people playing hill. You have 1 person cutting lanes, okay? In this situation, I'm going to pause this for 1 second and we'll go back to the gameplay. In this situation, you need to be the gap. You are always the gap. And in this situation, what is the gap? Your gap is holding spawns. So for that moment, for that hill, whatever that situation is, you need to be holding spawns. Next hill activate, okay? Your teammates are actually doing a really good job holding spawns. You have 2 people holding spawns. You have 1 person cutting lanes. Yes, last hardpoint you were holding spawns. Guess what? That doesn't matter. Your role isn't one of these. Your role is the flexible player. You are filling in the gaps, making sure that these 3 roles are filled in. So right now we have 2 people holding spawns, 1 cutting the lane. We're going to have 1 holding the hill. You see, you're the yellow player. You are adjusting depending on what your teammates need, okay? Now, sometimes the balance isn't going to be there. You're going to have, especially in lower lobbies, which we're talking about, you're going to have maybe 3 people holding hill, okay? And then you have to decide, depending on the situation, do I need to cut lanes or do I need to hold spawns? What do I need to do? And that's up to you to realize in the game and see what's more impactful, okay? For me, the most important thing is holding spawns as a basis, then getting the hill, and the luxury is cutting lanes. The reason I say it's a luxury is because it's so important, but you can only do that if you have the hill and you have the spawns. That way, your player can then flow about and cut lanes. What do I mean by cutting lanes? Cutting lanes is, if you watch your pros like Hydra, Shotzi, players like that, they cut the lanes. When you guys have a setup, when you guys have a hill, you want somebody pushing out, holding the cuts, okay? The cuts on the map are like, for example, right now, let's play this together. See what happens. Now we're going to go through that next, by the way, switching roles, which we'll go through in a second. But right now you can see we're holding the hill, right? If I feel like they're coming through this area, this is technically a cut. So right now my teammates are behind me. So there's two cuts that I have to watch out for, middle cut and left cut. If I, for example, sit in this corner on the floor and like let them go past me, I'm technically cutting the lanes because I'm holding this area and I'm holding the cut, okay? So it really just basically means holding an area of the map and holding the cut. That's cutting lanes, okay? So right now we're gonna go through and you just have to be more flexible. So right now you can see my teammates with me. I'm gonna look at the minimap, hold the left. We end up snaking it, we go through, and you can see we're backing him off. I don't need to kill him. We're gonna back him off, slow him down, chuck a stun, chuck a nade. I actually played that pretty poor there. Should have chucked the trophy system. I think I have a trophy. Yeah, I had a trophy. Should have threw that down there, but it's, oh, I don't have a trophy. I'm tweaking. Okay, let's move on. Anyways, yeah, that's a bad play. But why did I get an SMG out? Well, just like I mentioned earlier with the 4 roles, okay, you're gonna have, okay, this is actually perfect. I'm sorry for going all over the place. This obviously a game plan got a few, like maybe 2 weeks ago, so I forgot exactly what happens, but there's a few main things I thought would be helpful for solo queuing. Like right now, my teammates are in the hill and we get 3 down, okay? So now if I actually think about what we technically have spawns. Like we're spawning back there. So if I actually think about holding spawns right now, I would say we have that. We actually have that locked down. We have spawns locked down, okay? So let's go through the other roles. We've got holding spawns. Okay, we got cutting lanes, we got holding hill, and there's obviously other lanes like holding power position and stuff like that, but I'm going to call it the flexible player, just like we went through earlier, okay? So right now, I'm always thinking, what does my team need? Well, right now in my head, my team has somebody behind me holding the hill, so I'm going to give that a tick. My team in my head have someone holding spawns because they're going to, you know, spawn there, and I think that's fine for this hill. So for me, the only role I need to do here, and it's my favorite role, is, let me look at this chart, which is going to be in my head, cutting lanes, okay? So this puts more pressure on them. So let's play this out and see what I do here. So we go through. So now you see I'm cutting lanes, okay? Let me pause it right here. Let's hold this right here, okay? If I sat on the hill, this player, let's say he does come through here. I don't remember what happens. Let's just say they come through here, okay? So we're gonna make it red. If that player was to come through here, they're going to slide around. Let's say I'm not here, okay? I'm on the hill. They're going to start to get ready for the gunfight past this corner. They're going to come around this corner and then start pre-aiming, then starting getting ready for the gunfight. And this is very important. Why? Let me show you. So right now you're going to see, I don't remember if they do come through here, but I know they're spawning on my left. Just like I mentioned, my teammates are spawning on the right, so we have spawns. My teammates are on the hill, we have the hill. So what am I doing? I'm cutting the lanes. I'm being very, very annoying. Let's play it out and look what happens. Okay, if I was on the hill right there, that player would have killed me potentially because they see me. Now, they probably could have killed me here. This wasn't the best play because of my positioning, but you can see they're not even worried about this area because I'm in their spawn. We get one, immediately we back away, we watch the left here. But do you see how much like harder this is for them to break now? And this is another thing. Right now, look at my teammates. All 3 of them are focused on that area there. Now, why are they not worried about middle? Because they know I'm here. If I was on the hill and I was watching middle, I guarantee somebody else would also watch middle with me because they would have been a little bit scared because they thought somebody could get them from an off angle. But me playing here, cutting the lanes, remember I'm filling in the gap, right? I'm cutting the lanes. They know that middle is open. They're not going to go through here. So look what happens. So we go across. And look, we're just holding it. We're just holding the gap. That's it. That's what we're doing. Nothing crazy. We're holding the gap. Now my teammates need help. Now we help them out. So when you're playing solo queue, you are the role filler. You are the gap filler. You're trying to do everything that your teammates need them to do, okay? The next thing is about being flexible. You're not an AR player. You're not a sub player. Whoa, okay, let me say that again. You could say you're an AR player. You could say you're a sub player, but for me, I don't like that. Let me explain again. Just like we did with the roles, we're now going to do something different, okay? Now what we're going to do is this. We're going to say, we'll put it on the bottom left here, okay? In a normal game, in certain hills you might need an AR. We'll call it AR1. Okay, so you have AR1. Okay, then you have AR2. And then let's just say SMG1, SMG2, okay? So let's just assume this is a standard hill. Okay, cool. If your teammates, let's say you're playing solo queue, and your teammates are running 3 ARs, you've got AR, AR, and an AR again, okay? And you are just a natural AR. You say, you know what, I don't really use a sub, I'm just an AR player. You are also an AR, right? You have absolutely zero balance. There's zero map pressure as an SMG, which naturally makes the game a bit more aggressive. Being an SMG, you're holding more lanes, okay? So I just want to pause this here again. I know this is kind of all over the place, but we're going to go through why it's important. But right now, like, if we look at the balance, okay? If you have 3 teammates that are running an AR, but you're an AR player, you are not helping the team balance. Now, if you run a sub, even if it's 3-1, it's still better than being 4-0, okay? Other way around as well. Imagine you have 4 SMGs and you're not running an AR because you like running the Jackal. Your team are automatically going to lose because there's no map pressure. Right now, I haven't anchored spawns once. In fact, I actually was running an SMG there, right? But what am I doing now? If we look through, you can see I'm going to the back and anchoring spawns. Why? Because in my head, I'm looking at this graph. In my head, I'm looking here and I'm saying, okay, let me get the rubber out. This is literally what's going on in my head, right? This little graph is going on in my head, not as visual as this, but I thought it was easier to kind of point it out like this. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, I've got someone playing heal, so heal was actually cleared, so I'm gonna tick that. I have other people kind of coming through, so we don't really have anything else, to be honest. So the only thing we have is heal. Now, I could cut lanes, but what am I really cutting? There's nothing to really cut right now because we haven't got map control. Remember what I said? Cutting lanes for me is a luxury, okay? I want to cut lanes once we have a setup. This is a luxury. The flexible player, again, that's a luxury. That's once you have a setup, you have a bit more freedom, okay? But for now, the only thing open that we need to get is holding spawns. So I don't care what weapon I have. I'm holding spawns right now, being annoying. However, I fail at my job. I end up dying there. But I still made the right play of holding spawns. I just didn't execute. If I die like that in the game, I'm actually like, you know what? That's a bad mistake for me. I should have played it better. Now the result and the punishment is quite harsh. Look how far I spawned away now. So the punishment is definitely harsh, but I was doing the right thing. I was making the right play. I just failed to execute, okay? So when you're playing solo queue, it's going to be the same thing. You just have to think, what does my team need and what can I do to help them? So we're going to go through. The next thing is just generally about improving. Is just take accountability. The amount of people I've spoken to, and they just say, look, my teammates are dog shit, I can't get out of the rank. I want to sympathize with you, but I can't. Being someone that got to Iri solo queue, having, you know, a range of great teammates, to terrible teammates, to cheaters teammates, to cheater opponents, to just all over the, like, so many different variables, right? I played solo queue, I had a cheater on my team. I played solo queue, I had cheaters against me. I had people on my team disconnecting. I had people on my team leaving, and we, you know, not even like protecting ISR for some reason. The game gets glitched. So many different variables, but I can't control that. I can't control that. So what I would say is just play the game and just focus on minuscule changes. Focus on actually improving, okay? So right now, again, you look what you're seeing we're doing. We're going through. If I pause it right now, I'm going to pause it and just think, okay, so in my head, what does my teammate have? My teammate has spawns for new. My other teammate has the old heal. So right now, I'm going to start cutting lanes. I'm going to start cutting lanes from P2 going to P3, so we have a bit more map control that allows my team to get in the hill. So it's just about being a good team player. Another small few tips I would say, let's say you're like, okay, I would love to get there, but I don't play as much as you, okay? I play 2 hours a day. Okay, all right, cool. Let's entertain this conversation. So you play 2 hours a day. How many times, so not how many times, but how much would you say you spend warming up? The person I speak to, they'll say, you know what, I don't really warm up, bro. I just want to have fun when I play the game. Okay, cool. So out of the 2 hours, you'll say your first 10 minutes, you play a game, okay? Let's say your game is a hard point, you have a decent game, you get 30, let's just say you get 30 kills, okay? Cool. In 10 minutes, you have shot 30, you've had 30 kills, okay? Now for me, if you spent the first 10 minutes going into a bot lobby, you could have probably had 250 kills, okay? Now think about it. By the time, if you with this same rate, it's gonna take you like 8 games, okay? It's gonna take you 8 games to reach this. That's an hour and a half or more, maybe 2 hours. Basically, you're gonna shoot the same amount of bots in 10 minutes than as amount of kills you're gonna get in 2 hours. Now, obviously, there's different levels, right? When you're playing the game itself, you're seeing right now, we're not constantly in a gunfight like you are in bots. But the point is you're trying to find a rhythm, okay? If I said to you right now, I want you guys to think, who's the best player in the game in terms of pure shot? My answer is Dashi. Who has the best accuracy in the game is Dashi. If you watch Dashi stream, the first thing that guy does is he's playing against bots. He's playing bots. Now, this is Dashi. Do you think he needs to shoot bots? Do you think this guy's not good enough to not shoot bots? Of course he is. It's all about rhythm. It's all about warming up so that when you're playing at your best ability, okay? It's really, really important. When I'm playing solo queue and I don't warm up, it is night and day difference. When I warm up, I can literally tell the difference. I play so much better. But in the background right now, you're seeing a pretty good game from us as a team. And I can't even lie, like I was feeling so good in this moment, knowing that the game was going to be over and we were going to hit Iridescent. And yeah, it was definitely a tough journey. I've got a few more series ideas in the bank I'm kind of thinking of. Again, this video was completely unstructured. I literally just had the gameplay and I was like, what can I talk about? Let me just talk about the journey. Things I did well, things I could have done better and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's kind of most of it. Again, a few small tips and tricks I would say is like, we went through the main part of like filling in the different roles that your team needs. Like right now I'm playing kill. Like if you think about this one game, I've played spawns, I've cut lanes, I've played heal. I'm trying to do it all. And it's not about being that guy I have to do everything. It's just about like, what does my team need in that moment? And it's going to keep on changing. It's not going to be a straight path. Like you can't go into the game and say, you know what, I'm going to be the anchor. I'm going to make sure that for every single hill for P1, I'm going to be anchor. Okay. For P2, I'm going to be anchor. The reason why that doesn't work is because when you're playing solo queue, you don't know what your team are going to do. You just don't know. Like right now, yes, I'm anchoring spawns because it makes sense because my teammates aren't here. But if I have 3 teammates at the back with me, you know, maybe I need to, you know, start cutting some lanes. Last hard point I was holding the hill. It really just makes you think about the game in a different level and you have to be a bit more adjustable, okay? The next thing I would say is watch kill cams. Why? If you watch a kill cam, it allows you to see how you died. Once you see how you died, you can see 2 things. One, was that death I'm going to say a valuable death, okay? So this is a valuable death. What is a valuable death? A valuable death is right there, my teammate dying. If I get the trade, it kind of counts as a valuable death. Let's say my teammate shoots someone 3 times and then dies and I get the trade, but we win the overall team trade of the hill. I would say that's a valuable death because your team has won the engagement, okay? If I die for no reason, like let's say I overchow and I die and I get nothing for the team, that's not a valuable death. Like right now, let's say I go through, I get 1, I get the second right there. Let's say right there that 3rd player trades me, but my teammate gets a trade. Like right now, for example, right there, if my teammate gets a trade, I would say that's a valuable death because my teammates still have control there. An invaluable death, like a bad death to have, is when you kind of throw your life. Let's say you throw your life and you get nothing from it, you overcommit, your teammates aren't trading you and you lose a team fight. That's a really bad death because you basically delayed your push, okay? So about finding the difference and stuff like that. Right now you can see obviously play the game as well, and we did a bit of everything. We were cutting lanes, we were holding spawns, everything we did in this game. I was fully locked in. Right here you see we ended with a nice little 4-piece, and yeah, I mean the journey to Iridescent was definitely not an easy one, but very, very happy with that. And it definitely takes a lot of your mental. It definitely takes a lot of your mental. I would say that, like I said, like you have to just make sure you don't lose full. You're going to play cheaters. You're going to have bad teammates at times. Like these things are going to happen. You just can't let it control you and you can't blame it as well. Like I think too many people, like again, some people might not like this, but whenever I'm like coaching people or playing, like the biggest thing I say is you have to take accountability. End of the day, you have to take accountability because whether it was your fault or not, there you go, look at that, we actually hit it as well right there. I can't believe I did this on, I even think about this right now, this was so hard to do. But yeah, if you don't take accountability, you're just gonna play like in your head, you're gonna, oh, we didn't lose because of me. It's just not gonna help you. It really is not gonna help you. And I'm saying this as someone that's done this for years now, playing solo queue. Like I just try to take accountability. If I lose knowing I actually gave him my all, I'm okay. I'm not really mad. And there was times where I was hard stock Crim 3. I was losing SR. But then I had games of good teammates. Like you're going to have a roller coaster. You're going to have, you know, you're going to have the good teammates and then you're going to have the bad teammates. But what you have to make sure is that you as a player, let's say this is you, your floor is around there. If your floor is around there, it doesn't matter what your teammates have because you're always going to perform, right? And then whenever you get good teammates, you're going to win your games. Whenever you have bad teammates, you might lose, but there's times where you might even sneak a win. And it just comes to a point where all you have to do is just win, okay, more than you lose. That's it. So if you have 2 games with a bad teammate, that's okay. You might get 3 games with a good teammate. And then guess what? Overall, you've won 1 more game. So you climb SR. It really comes down to that. If you get hard stuck, it doesn't matter. It's okay. It's all right. Chill. Play the game. Enjoy it. Improve at it. Don't worry, don't stress too much. The amount of comments I get probably on a daily basis of I'm hard stuck, the game shit, teammates are terrible. Okay, that doesn't help you, bro. It doesn't help you. I could easily say, it'll be easy for me to say, you know what, you're right. The game is shit. The teammates don't help you. You're right. You should be in Iridescent, but you're in silver. So maybe we should take some accountability and say, what can we do differently? Okay, that's all it is. I'm trying to help everyone improve and reach their PR, reach their ranks. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys for another video later on today. Peace.